Jackson, I guess you and Dan McLaughlin were talking this over?
Yeah, well, we just kind of as like a topic, like who is the face of St. Louis sports
at this particular moment?
Yeah.
And 4 people texted in AJ McGavin. At first, I thought it was like a TMA listener just infiltrating, and then I saw it happen multiple times. Like, oh boy.
I think the most prominent guy now, the guy you see and hear from the most, is probably John Mazalak.
Oh, geez.
Who gets more airtime? Who gets more airtime, and who's on more than John Mazalak?
My answer was Nolan Arenado for the record.
Yeah,
but it's not
he's probably the best athlete in town.
Robert Thomas, I don't know if that's even you can even put hockey.
I think Robert Thomas is live as well.
There, he's having an amazing season.
Let's just be honest. There is no face of St. Louis in sports.
I think maybe Iggy is right, but if you had to pick one, Arenado probably it.
I like Doug's answer.
You hear more from him than any other person in sports.
He probably typed up the most on St. Louis Twitter in terms of sports topics.
Just the interviews on radio and TV. I don't know who gets more airtime than he does.
I do blame him for everything. So.
Well, you shouldn't.
The record, Tim, going into this.
Is it 4, Iggy? 4 and 3?
4 and 3, I think.
Yeah, Iggy leads Doug 4-3.
All right.
How about KG? How's he
He's
doing?
4-2-1 on the Doug, Iggy, KG.
And that counting what just happened this weekend?
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, so here we go.
Wow.
Yeah, I have no clue what happened. I know my one team I didn't play cashed.
Stack leader,
of course. Yeah, the team I didn't pick also finished.
Stack leader.
What? You did your own team?
Yeah. I picked one after hours. I didn't play that. And
you
we all finished in the top 5.
$50 buy-in.
Yeah.
No, I only won $250.
KG comes in last. The only people who made the cut for him were Parker Cootie and Hogard. So he had a bunch of missed cuts. So he has 256, so he's pulling up the rear. Iggy had Thomas Dietrich, who missed the cut, and Dumont. So both of them missing the cut did not help him. But he did have Eric Van Ruin and Jaeger, who both finished T10. But once again, back-to-back weeks, the Cack Eat Smoke Show himself takes another week.
We are deadlocked.
Doug.
Yep.
In this program. Doug, I went to something called the Heart Ball. Gala?
Heart ball.
Gala?
Gala.
Is it Gala?
I don't know.
Can you say both?
I don't know that I've ever been to a gala.
Jackson, you've probably been to a lot. Or is it Gala or Gala?
I'd say Gala.
Huh. And had some libations on Friday evening. And it had moved from the auction portion of the evening. It was a wonderful event. And was sitting there talking to some friends, sitting there BSing with my wife and some friends. The friends got up, and then we were getting ready to leave, and a gentleman comes over, guy I know. We started BSing, and then almost like a shoulder tap, like it was like The Bachelor. Actually, I know you watched that Bachelor.
Oh, sure. May I cut in?
Yes. Except in this case, it was somebody I'd never met before.
Oh, yeah.
Another gentleman, lucky for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman sits down, and he begins to weep.
Weep?
Crying?
You tapped in your conversation so he could cry?
Just meeting you?
I'm just going to recount the story, and you can interpret however you would like.
I mean, I don't blame him.
What do you mean you don't blame him?
Well, if you get to meet Tim for the first
Oh.
time.
You almost were able to deliver it. You got the final letter, and it got you. And he said, "You changed my life."
Oh. For the better?
Oh my God.
You got into radio?
I know, God. And I think he was attempting to be sincere. And since I actually had, my wife was sitting right to my right, he was on my left. And, it's one of those, would you call it a gala or a gala?
I thought we were through that.
10-person table, but we were the only ones left at the table. People had moved over to go out and have booze and band and whatever. And he was getting emotional. And he goes, "You're a St. Gabriel's guy, aren't you?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Are you a St. Gabriel's guy?"
Yeah. He's had a hand in throwing some of the games there.
And I said, "Oh, would you go to St. Gabriel?" He goes, "No." I go, "Okay, where'd you go?" He goes, "Somewhere in St. Charles."
Oh, no.
And I said, "Oh, where?" and he was dumbfounded, and he couldn't think of where he went to school.
He was so starstruck.
I think it was more intoxicated.
No.
And I started naming St. Charles grade schools I was familiar with.
How
to
many
try to
could you
help
get
him
to?
out. I got to St. Charles Borromeo. They knocked us off in the 7th grade tournament.
Oh.
You remember that? Was that 88?
We didn't cover it.
89? Yeah, we had a lead at the half, but then we wound up losing 52-30, and it's still smarts to this day. Because if you can win the St. Gabriel 7th grade tournament, you're protected in the neighborhood. But if you don't, forget about it. I think there's an Immaculate Conception. Is that in? Do you say Darden Prairie?
Yeah.
Darden Prairie. St. Joseph Cottleville. Would that count? I just started naming, and he just goes, "I'm sorry."
He couldn't come up with it.
I can't think of it. I can't
You
think.
can't remember when we went to high school? He was so
This has been grade school.
Right. And we continued to talk for a little bit, and he goes, "I'm going to go get another shot and have a cigarette." And I
Yeah.
go, "Okay."
Sounds like he needed it.
Oh.
And that was the end of the conversation?
I love how he needs, like,
He's-
a
let me get this
burner.
straight. You're at a gala.
Gayla.
He sat down, interrupted your conversation, immediately began crying, announced he couldn't think of where he went to the grade school, and with that, he got up and left.
I needed a cigarette. He obviously climaxed.
That's what happened. Did you ever see him again?
Honestly, yes. Later in the evening, the band took a break, and he went on stage. You know, it's people are there to start playing music, like a DJ or whatever. And he got up on stage
And said, "Thank you, Tim."
It's like Kanye at the VMAs.
and started playing the drums by himself.
Oh, no.
Big night for you.
Oh.
We get this guy on Balloon Party.
Did he have a wife trying to
I never
get him
saw.
in order?
I never saw a female
Yeah.
significant other.
He's crying and wasted. She left hours ago.
Here we go. This is it, Doug.
All right.
All right. Evolution 2024, the lineup is The Killers.
The Killers.
The Killers. Back.
I saw them last March at the Davis.
Yeah.
gosh.
Amazing, right?
They
Biggie knows.
put it off for like 6-7 months. They
Right.
finally came, but
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a bigger song still going than Mr. Brightside.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Killers.
Between Mr. Brightside and Somebody Told Me, I mean, they're anthems that are iconic at this point.
Yeah, Brandon Flowers still with the band. So
Absolutely.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So, The Killers, Beck, Jane's Addiction,
Jane's Addiction.
Blondie.
Hug.
Yeah.
Now, is that Deborah Harry?
That is Debbie Harry. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. They're still together. They're still at it. They're still doing it, and she sounds amazing. Nile Rodgers and Chic, who I'm personally excited about. Nile is a hero to me, and I think we're all gonna freak out.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I caught that.
I didn't catch it.
Doug didn't catch it. I got it.
And
I
you-
won't sing it on air.
Oh.
I just got here, so I'm
And
not.
you're saving
All
two
right.
iconics for later. I mean, you still have two iconic.
Oh,
bands
absolutely,
right now.
absolutely. Well, I mean, we keep going. We
Yeah,
try
it's
to
not
pack
over.
it from top to bottom. Killer Mike.
Killer Mike.
Let's go.
Fresh off the Grammys.
Fresh off the Grammys, exactly. 3 big wins. El King, up and coming sort of country rock. Todd Rundgren, obviously a legend. Pete Yorn, Sunvolt, St. Louis Connection.
absolutely.
Belleville.
John Sunvolt?
No. This is SON space VOLT.
Oh, okay.
That's funny, though.
I thought it was a basketball player.
Good.
Did you ever hear of Uncle Tupelo? Famous.
Tupelo, Mississippi, so Elvis was
So there's
born.
this band called Uncle Tupelo from these parts
Yeah.
from way back when, and when they broke up, the two
Belvillians, right?
Well, yeah, Belvillians. That's
Belvillians.
exactly
Is
right.
that what you say? Belvillians?
I don't know.
Yeah, so
Belvillians.
they split up, and one formed one thing, and Jay formed Sunvolt, and we're excited to have him on. Robert Finley, S.G. Goodman, His Lordship, Lola Kirk, the Mysterines, Trey Burt, Beechwood Sparks, Sunny War, Billy Tibble's Band, Chaparral, Pearl Charles, 95 Bulls, The Asteroid No. 4, Schizophonics, Nadine, Daddy Longlegs, Sean Thompson's Weird Ears. Yes, that's
That's the name of his band?
That's the name. And
Sounds like
Night
one of our
Sprites.
texters.
It does sound like a
That's
text
right.
inbox.
So
thing.
it's an incredibly stacked lineup. We're really, really excited about it.
that audio. He was very direct as to his reasoning for going to Live Golf Plowhawk. It's audio clip 1.
Please don't say team aspect.
Why was Live Golf the right decision for you? Well,
it's a change, right? The best way I can explain it is live golf wasn't a thing or a possibility for us growing up. PGA Tour was the pinnacle of golf, right? This is a new change, a big change, and I don't want to skip through this point because there's no point. A big change on the way the golfers get compensated. I'll be lying if I said it wasn't a big part of it. In a nutshell, I'm getting paid more to play the same sport and have more time. I don't know about most people, that sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Love the honesty there.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of beat around the bush a little bit there at the beginning, but I guess I get
They
where
got
I'm
away
coming
from the growing the game narrative, and now they're just accepting. And hey, God bless him. I mean,
think
that's
that's
honesty.
smart.
What Rahm said his communications have been like with Rory McIlroy, also Tiger Woods, and also PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan.
What have your peers said about your decision to go to Live, specifically Rory and Tiger? Have you had any conversations with them?
Rory has been supportive publicly of my decision, and he was privately as well. Tiger, no, not really. I mean, Tiger, I texted him, and the people that tried to reach out, throughout the process when I signed, and I just let him know, hey, this is a personal decision. I have nothing against anybody. I want to make one thing clear. If allowed, I would still support the PGA Tour and DP World Tour. I'm not giving up, and there's still some events I would love to absolutely play. No doubt about it. If my schedule allows, I would go and play.
Have you talked to Jay Monahan at all?
No, I haven't. I think he's busy enough to be talking to me.
What's the point of the music in the background?
Again, I think Live Golf.
I was waiting for you to say something about that.
I heard a golf ball being hit too.
Yeah, I thought that was like a pop of the soda can, but I think that.
No, it's B-roll, baby.
It is B-roll, Doug. That was B-roll.
And Buchnevich was on the market there too, or at least it seemed like he was, based on the chatter going around the internet.
And that one made sense.
He is. Did something happen?
No, on the trade market.
Right. Yeah, that Buchnevich is in play.
You would think so.
Right. Okay. I thought you said. I thought you said it was, and I thought something.
I don't think Doug Armstrong ever came out and said, "Yeah, we're looking to move Buchnevich." But just based on what you hear, it sounds
Never
like they're.
came out saying it wasn't.
I would be surprised if they did not trade him. What percentage you putting on that one?
Again, about 40%.
On Buchnevich?
I'd say so.
Wow. God,
Just because I think they like him a lot more than Kyrou. If you're going to hang on
he's
to one
up
or the
after
other.
next year, and they're. I mean, again, I guess by math they're in it, but I'd love for the Blues to be in the playoffs. God, I love them Stanley Cup playoffs, but I just don't see it happen.
They've fallen 4 points out of
Yeah.
the second wild card spot now with this bad week. But it's kind of been the pattern the whole season. Just by the time you're ready to give up on them, they win 3 or 4 in a row against
Boy,
good
if they
teams.
can do that, considering what they've got going on now, that'd be a hell of an accomplishment.
They got 62 points now. Nashville's got 66, but Nashville's got 2 games in hand. So, it's not out of the question. And there's still, Tim, there's a lot of hockey to be played.
I didn't understand.
There's a lot of hockey to be. They've only played 57 games, so there's still a lot of hockey to be played. Now, I wear some Lululemon trousers. Show off these ripe apples.
You're a bad boy.
Have you ever had Lululemon pants? They are really comfortable.
And what do you like so much about them?
Well, they stretch with you. I had one pair where I swear I wore it for like a year and a half, 2 years, because I liked them so much. I wore them a lot. They developed a tiny little rip in the pocket, and I took them to the store and I said, "Is there?" I just happened to be wearing them at the time. I said, "Is there any way I could fix this? Can you sew those together?" And they go, "Well, we'll give you a new pair."
What?
And I said, "Well, I've had them for 2 years and I don't have a receipt." They said, "It doesn't matter." I said, "Really?" They gave me a new pair.
How about this Lululemon?
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I didn't ask for it.
Maybe it's because you're celebrity.
They didn't know who I was. It was just me and a bunch of 15-year-old girls in there shopping.
I got that off.
That's usually what it's like in there. But they do have great pants.
That's right, fellas. Adam Long is still hanging his head about you guys beating an entirely different golfer. And it cost him his tour card. Speaking of golf, do you want to hear about how Kenneth got a soft cow over the weekend looking at the professional golfer wives? No. Oh, okay. Well, don't you think Macaulay Culkin's brother in those 1,800 episodes of a Spanish soap opera that he watched was bad for nepotism? Well, at least we can get through a big concert announcement without putting it on blast like the Tequila live read that Kenneth added the critical information information about how he can't drink tequila. This show is awesome. That's from Shooter McGavin, the vice president of the DMV, verification of height, weight, shoe size, and gin.
Shooter McGavin. McGavin.